This is CBC Here and Now.
Delayed. It'll be another year before Trent Butt is prosecuted for the murder of his daughter.
I saw the headline, it was tragic.
The Edge reach out to a young man who lost his father in a house fire.
Tonight when they come, well, we're gonna roll out the red carpet for them.
Well, a bright but brisk Tuesday on the way, and then a mess for Wednesday. Snow, ice, and rain and wind on the menu. The details are coming up.
Good evening and welcome to a 30-minute holiday edition of Here and Now. Our top story tonight, the trial for Trent Butt, the father accused of killing his 5-year-old daughter, has been postponed for a year. Family and supporters of Quinn Butt wept as the new trial date was set at Supreme Court in St. John's on Monday. Trent Butt was supposed to be tried in late March. More than 1,000 people received jury summons for the high-profile case. It's alleged that Butt killed his daughter at his house in 2016 and then set fire to the home. Butt fired his lawyers the week before his trial was set to begin. The man who says he suffered sexual abuse while in the Air Cadets is finally having his case heard. The man, being referred to as John Doe to protect his identity, filed a lawsuit against the federal government in 2011, saying they are on the hook for incidents that changed his life forever. Here Now's Ryan Cook explains.
It was an emotional day of testimony here at Supreme Court in St. John's, where a man recounted allegations of sexual abuse that he says he suffered at the hands of his cadet leader 50 years ago, both here in St. John's and at CFB Greenwood in Nova Scotia. The man is listed as John Doe in court documents. His alleged abuser is listed as CM. But the defendant in this civil trial is the federal government because John Doe says nobody in the cadet program protected him from his leader. The two men met at Greenwood during a summer camp when CM was an instructor. John Doe says he awoke one night to find CM crawling out from under his covers after giving him oral sex. Doe was 14 at the time, CM was 21 years old. Doe says the man befriended his older sister and became close to his entire family. He says CM took him on a road trip to New York where there was unwanted touching and forced oral sex along the way. When they got home to St. John's, he says it continued. He testified today that it took a huge toll on his entire life. It festered over the next 20 years until a mental breakdown in 1989 cost John Doe his job with the Coast Guard. But until 2010, he didn't tell anyone why he had a breakdown. Doe and his lawyer Will Hiscock are seeking damages in this civil trial from the federal government. But the feds have a plan to take legal action against CM to ensure he is on the hook if damages are awarded. CM, meanwhile, is not being sued directly in this case, but does have high-profile lawyer Jerome Kennedy appearing in court on his behalf. The allegations against CM have not been proven in a criminal court. John Doe had trouble testifying at times, rambling on incoherently and saying that he just wanted to black all of this out. The trial is slated for 3 weeks. Ryan Cook, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, 2 people died in accidents over the weekend. A 50-year-old man from Point Lance was killed when the vehicle he was driving rolled near St. Bride's on Friday evening. And a 41-year-old woman was pronounced dead on the scene of a snowmobile crash on the Northern Peninsula. It happened near Eastern Brook Pond around 11 o'clock Saturday evening. Both incidents are under investigation. A fire in Mount Pearl has shut down several businesses in a Commonwealth Avenue strip mall. Flames broke out shortly after 11 o'clock last night at Elite Tattoo Studios. An adjacent hair salon and Coffee Matters Cafe also sustained extensive smoke and water damage. No one was injured in the fire. Police are investigating how it all started. And this is all that remains of the Roddington home in Newfoundland writer Earl Pilgrim. He escaped the blaze unharmed on Saturday evening, but all the contents, including his latest writings, were lost. There's no word on the cause of the fire. Well, a massive underground construction project begins today in downtown St. John's. The century-old water and sewer system is being upgraded, but it won't be the big dig that many downtown businesses were dreading. Instead, trenchless technology will allow workers to repair the pipes without digging up the street. But what does that mean for downtown traffic, shoppers, and workers? Here now, Zach Gowdy spoke with St. John's City Councillor Dave Lane.
The original version of this plan was called the Big Dig. Should we be calling this the Little Dig now?
Yeah, it's not a big dig. This is now we just call it the Water Street Infrastructure Project, or the Water Street Project. And it will still take 5 years, but that just means every construction season will start as soon as possible. So we're starting in 2nd of April this year. We've got incentives for the contractor to be finished by the end of June. Try and get it done before the festival season, the tourist season really kicks into gear downtown. And then we'll do that once a year for 5 years, a block each time.
So even with this trenchless technology, how much disruption will we experience for businesses and people here at the street level?
There's going to be a slowing of traffic. So we're going to reduce sections of the street as we go along to one lane, but we'll have a flags person who's going to let one lane go for a while and then the other direction go for another while. We will sometimes have to do closures of maybe a section of a road, like we're going to close down Queens Road a tiny bit so that they can put their gear down. We will divert traffic around those areas. So there will be slowdowns a little bit, but Water Street is very much open for business, and if people would like to sign up and learn more, they can go to engagestjohns.ca and you can actually sign up for notifications if you'd like to know when there's going to be a closure.
Even, doing everything you can to mitigate the disruption, 5 years is a long time. Are you concerned that that will start to impact people's long-term desire to come down to Water Street, the desirability of businesses to locate themselves down here?
This is a project that has to be done, and I think most, if not all, business owners understand that. And really what we're trying to do is make sure that we can do it in as little impact as possible. Ultimately, we are trying to make sure that we have a great infrastructure underground. And in fact, one thing, this is actually going to save taxpayer dollars in the long run, because right now sewer and stormwater go in the same pipes. We're going to be able to separate that now. And now instead of stormwater being treated, which it doesn't have to be, at our treatment plant, which costs money, now it's just going to flow like any other stormwater. So that's actually going to save money in the long run.
So there's still going to be some short-term pain, but less of it for more long-term gain.
Yes, absolutely.
Right on. Well, thank you, Councillor. Good luck.
Thanks, Zach.
Well, the alleged drunk driver accused of striking and killing his sister-in-law and her husband was in court in Corner Brook today. Walter Alfred Joyce faces 2 counts of impaired driving causing death after a pedestrian accident in the early morning hours of Boxing Day 2016 in Lark Harbor. Today marked a pre-trial application where Joyce's lawyer, Robbie Ash, is asking to have some evidence excluded. Joyce is accused of driving drunk and hitting Merle and Marilyn Shepard, who were walking home from a family party that he had also attended. The pre-trial will continue tomorrow with several witnesses taking the stand. Provincial Tories are now able to vote for a new leader. The PC party says all those who signed up should now have received their voting packages. Ballots have to be returned by April 25th. The new leader will be announced at the PC convention in St. John's on April 28th. Lawyer Tress Crosby and Healthcare Administrator Tony Wakeham are the only 2 candidates. Well, the provincial minimum wage increased yesterday by 15 cents. The minimum wage is now $11.15 an hour. The wage was boosted twice last year, in April and again in October. Those increases were the first minimum wage hikes in the province in 6 years. Even after yesterday's increase, the province will still have the 3rd lowest minimum wage in the country after Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan. 2 hockey teams from Northern Labrador started provincials on the island this week without their gear. The Torngat Mountains Minor Hockey Association says it shipped equipment 3 days early, but still the bags didn't make it. The gear did show up today, but the midget team will have to reschedule an earlier game, and some players on the Pee Wee team competing in Gander had to borrow gear this morning. Air Borealis, which is run by PAL, says it apologizes to the teams and this incident doesn't meet their service standards. For its part, the association says it wants compensation.
We're hoping that PAL is going to come up with something better than a pizza party, because, we're fundraising in a small community. Everyone is. We got 1,200 people. Try raising $19,000.
Well, Brad Gushew's Team Canada rink is just taking to the ice against Italy in Las Vegas at the World Curling Championships. Gushew has a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. Yesterday, they defeated Switzerland 7-2, and on opening day, they beat Russia 7-6. But they lost to Scotland. Here's how that game played out.
But then Canada's up 5-4 and have the hammer, but Scotland's sitting 4, maybe even 5. So Gushew needs to get this to bite to stay in the house, but he rolls it right off the yellow. And Scotland turn the tables with a steal of 2 to go ahead 6-5. Gushew would recover to lead 7-6 by the 10th end. And on his final stone, he looks to take out the single Scottish yellow, but he leaks his own out to the left. And that'll ricochet around to take out his own shot stone, so Scotland with an easy draw left to end it. And of course, they hit it with ease.
34-year-old Jeff Crocker, who has autism, lost his father in a house fire in Burnt Cove just over a week ago. Crocker made several attempts to re-enter the house in an effort to save his father. The community has since rallied to raise money for Crocker, who is now living with his brother. The St. John's Edge is also lending support. Associate head coach Stephen Marcus spoke with our Zach Gowdy.
I was fooling around on Twitter the other day, saw the article on CBC, and I was reading through it, saw the headline. It was tragic. So after reading through the article, I reached out to Kenny, our communications director. Just kind of said, what can we do to help? Basketball's given us a platform here in St. John's to do great things for people in the community, and this is no different. So we reached out to the family and tried to do something nice for them to ease their pain through this process, and hopefully they have a good time tonight.
What was the reaction when you called offering the tickets to tonight's game?
They were ecstatic. They were excited about it. A little nervous to be back out in the community, but they were great. And hopefully that they tonight when they come, we're gonna roll out the red carpet for them and got a couple signed items from the team. But hopefully they can have a good time.
A Newfoundland man dropped 326 pounds after his weight got in the way of someone escaping the Fort McMurray wildfire. Tony Bussey weighed nearly 600 pounds 2 years ago during the Fort McMurray wildfire, but because of his size, he needed 2 airplane seats to evacuate his work camp. That delayed someone else from getting out and motivated the 41-year-old to make some drastic changes, and he says through diet and exercise, he lost more than half his body weight.
Felt horrible because I kept thinking, here it is, somebody's family member is waiting for their mom or dad or their loved ones to come home, and their loved ones have to wait longer now because I'm too fat to sit next to.
Photo was a warning.
He's a 99-year-old Polish veteran who fought the Nazis and still is fighting even now for tolerance in this province. Well, Ryan's here now with the first look at the weather, and it was a great weekend. Pretty windy.
That's right.
On Sunday, but
good day to stay inside and slam a few chocolates down your.
I'm sure that was done by a few people.
Absolutely. A few too many chocolates on this end, but yeah, the wind. If you were running into the wind, then you could burn off a few more extra calories, right?
That's right.
Speaking of that wind, have a look at this picture, which was sent to us by Debbie Olson of Green Pond. And she said that it was, yes, really howling out there in Green Pond yesterday when that picture was taken. You know what? The wind was pretty gusty again today, though it is easing off. Current sustained winds near 28 in St. John's right now, Gander at 35, so it's certainly becoming a little bit lighter, but still a little on the breezy side. And that wind is ushering in some cooler temperatures. -2 in Corner Brook. It's still +4 in St. John's, but temperatures, they're going to be pretty chilly tonight as that low departs and that cooler air wraps in. We are going to be seeing calm but cool conditions to start the day tomorrow. A low off to our south will stay there and it'll move off to the east. Not going to be a factor for us. This will, however, be a factor for us. A brewing Colorado low that's going to be impacting much of the northern U.S. through the Great Lakes, the Northeast, and then finally into our neck of the woods as we roll into Wednesday. Here are your temperatures to start Tuesday. Really, the only thing you need to worry about is perhaps a little bit of scraping and also the sunshades that you will need to drive to work for most of the region tomorrow. Really, the only chance of flurries is in Labrador City. It's smooth sailing from start to finish across the island. A bit of cloud cover in the mix here over the eastern half of the island. An isolated flurry not out of the question along the coast, but it's a pretty quiet day. Lots of sunshine for the west coast. Again, temperatures riding the freezing mark, a little bit cooler, -2 for areas of central. Pretty nice day along the coast of Labrador, and we're increasing the clouds in Happy Valley Goose Bay and bringing a few flurries into the mix over western regions of Labrador. So watch your timeline here. It's quiet as we roll through Tuesday evening and into the overnight. We'll build the cloud cover up, some flurries even by Wednesday morning, but certainly into the afternoon is when we'll start to see those better snow chances tracking into Corner Brook, Port aux Basques, and then down towards the south coast, down towards the Burin Peninsula and the central parts of Newfoundland as well. That snow will be marching in. Perhaps some mixing with ice pellets by the end of the day in through the Burin Peninsula, increasing clouds for St. John's, St. Anthony, the Straits, and that building cloud cover in Labrador. Again, special weather statements are in effect for Newfoundland and Labrador with this system. This is primarily a snow system for Labrador and on the island. Watch as we will see that snow and then this mixing area where we'll have some ice pellets, some freezing rain. This looks primarily like a Wednesday evening into the overnight time frame. During that, with that mixing, winds are really going to be ramping up. Very likely to see some wreck house wind warnings for Wednesday night through into Thursday morning. There is the rain that will be taking over by Thursday morning for St. John's, and then eventually up towards the northern peninsula. The Straits will likely see some mixing, some gusty winds, and the snow continues for you folks in Labrador through Thursday, while the island sees the thermostat crank up to around 6, 7, 8, even 9 degrees. Into the long range, that system departs, and then we're watching another system that's going to be rolling in, looks like for Friday night and in through Saturday. Another mixed one with snow, rain to snow, back to snow by the looks. Snow to rain, back to snow. That's kind of what I think I said as we roll through the weekend time period. We'll break down that in a little more detail, of course, tomorrow right here on the show. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ryan. Well, there was a special ceremony in St. John's this weekend for a Polish veteran who fought the Nazis in World War II. Tadeusz Dreyer fought in the Warsaw Uprising. He later moved to Newfoundland and became an advocate for multiculturalism. A representative with the Polish government came to thank the 99-year-old in person for fighting to keep Poland a free country.
He was a soldier of the Warsaw Uprising. He fought for our freedom. Without his fight, there would be no free Poland.
World War II was a warning to everybody that we have to change, that we have to be different, that if we want to see a better future, we better change fast. Multiculturalism today is more important than ever.
Poland regained independence in 1919, so it's sort of symbolical that a 100-year-old veteran awards some medals and is not forgotten, it's remembered by his nation, his birth nation.
Well, it was almost the perfect escape. A fugitive bull in the Annapolis Valley ended up being its own worst enemy by returning home after a night on the lam. Carolyn Ray explains from Nova Scotia.
At 85 years old, Jan Spielman has seen everything when it comes to cattle. That was until Sunday, when he was in this pen with a bull.
She might have broke the stick there.
The bull leaped over the 2 levels of fencing, about 7 feet high.
It was so tight, a tractor wouldn't have gone through it. It was that tight.
This wasn't a tractor, but a 1-ton beast on legs. The farmer had to act fast.
And I said, look, and there he was going, just to go. And I jumped on the tractor and put it in high, that's quite fast, and tried to hit him off, but he just boom, boom. And then on the end of that pasture, there's that big pond, and there's where he went through the water into the next field.
The evidence of the Great Escape is still clear. Muddy footprints reveal the bull's route.
And he come out of that building, he went that far.
So he went far.
So he could have gone that way as well, but then he turned around, seen that yellow gate was open, so he went right into the pasture.
The black and white bull tore through an icy pond. It waded across a thick pool of mud and darted into the woods. The RCMP put out a warning right away. If the bull went that way, it would hit the main highway. If it went that way, it would hit the nearest town of Berwick. Spielman had a sleepless night. Then, at daylight, his grandson used those muddy footprints to track the animal. The trail led them right back here, inside the fugitive, likely lured home by his stomach, returning for a lunch of hay. Spielman got back on that trusty tractor and blocked the door. He must have known his fate to escape.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, he just kept going. Instead of, you know, sometimes to go a little ways and to turn around, but he just kept going.
The bull's motive, you see, was likely his fate. The bull was supposed to go to the slaughterhouse this morning, and even though the animal took a serious detour, his owner says that's still the plan. Carolyn Ray, CBC News, Aylesford East, Nova Scotia.
Well, our viewer picture of the day. This is a fantastic pic. Lots of sunshine here in western parts of Newfoundland. If you can guess where this location is.
Beautiful lighthouse.
Definitely.
I do not know.
Yeah, it's a tough one,
That's
and
a tough one.
we'll reveal after the break.
time now for our young athlete of the day. Meet Faith Goodyear from Fortune. Faith is 10 years old and enjoys figure skating.
She spends time on the ice with the Cutting Edge Figure Skating Club, and last year she won Can Skate of the Year. Congratulations, Faith. You're today's Young Athlete of the Day.
Nice. So, where was this photo taken?
Okay, so Western Newfoundland, which has been a popular spot for pictures lately. And you can see this one was, yes, Frenchman's Cove. So that is the Bay of Islands. So we'll zoom into the Corner Brook region there and the Bay of Islands, and a great shot there. Nice little lighthouse, and thanks to Diane, who posted that on my Facebook page, and so many others have been doing the same.
Great. Well, it's time now to say goodnight for this half hour here and now. But first, some local songwriters and chefs came together for Tasty Tunes on Saturday in St. John's.
That's a CBC fundraiser for the Community Food Sharing Association that will air later this month on the East Coast Music Hour.
So we'll leave you with the final sing-along, the St. John's Waltz. Good night.
Planes, they fill the skyway, the trains run swift and free, so leave the wayward free to wander, leave the restless free to roam. If it's rocks in the bay or it's old cliche, you'll find your way back home. Question or inquire what's been gained, what's been lost. In the world of romance, don't miss out on the chance to be dancing St. John's waltz. Yeah, they're always ready, they're up on the deck, dancing to St. John's waltz. Beautiful.
I wonder how many people were at home swaying to
Definitely.
that song. I always sway to St. John's Waltz.
I just spotted Chrissy Holmes. I know Debbie was there as
Fred
well.
Hutton?
Fred Hutton. You were there last year.
Yeah,
great event.
Yeah, and some delicious things to eat for sure, and great music. So yeah, I'm sure it was a great time had by all. And tomorrow we'll be back to the regular hour, and Debbie will be back here. So yeah, I guess we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone.